Hi, I'm Warren Snow. I've been involved in the recycling business for over 20 years, and I got motivated to be involved in recycling through trying to create jobs in a hard-hit community in the north, Kaitaia. And we found that it was possible to recycle a large proportion of the waste much cheaper than sending it to landfill and create a significant number of jobs. I came to recycling from a local economic development point of view, and that's the way I've looked at it ever since, and that's the way I'm looking at it for Auckland City. The problem for Auckland City is that they only have control or influence over 17% of the 1.2 million tonnes going to landfill every year. Over the last 20 years, the 7 cities that made up Auckland have privatised waste. They've handed it over the control to the private big waste companies. This has been a failed experiment. Waste costs are going to go up, landfills are going to fill up, the aftercare responsibility by the landfill owners will end, and all that cost will be socialised for managing the leachate for the next, 100, 200, 500 years? If we can't get control of the transfer stations, the point where the decision as to whether something goes to landfill or goes to recycling is made, if the community can't get control of that, then they're going to have to set up a parallel system. The ideal is for the community to control that decision. We've left that decision as to whether something is recycled or goes to landfill to waste companies whose business model is landfill. They may claim that they're into recycling, and they may have lovely stuff on their website or on their trucks, but their culture is not suited to recycling. Their culture is essentially hauling stuff and putting it in a big hole. So you've got big corporations that are pitched against the community all around the world. The community wants to create jobs, wants to save resources. The big corporations, the big waste companies, they want to fill their landfill because that's where they get their return on investment. Now, this study we did in 2005, Reclaiming Auckland Resources, what it showed was that it was costing Auckland half to recycle that it was costing to landfill a tonne of waste. 50%. So we've done the research, we've shown that recycling is more cost effective. Why aren't we recycling more? The answer to that is the waste industry controls that material and they want it for their landfills. Under this new concept called EPR, Extended Producer Responsibility, manufacturers and consumers are going to be asked to take more responsibility for the end life of the product they make or they buy. All around the world they're putting deposits on TVs and on even furniture and tyres and paint so that the end user has an incentive to take that back to a drop-off centre where it'll be recycled and put back into the economy rather than into a landfill. The prime cause of the environmental degradation is consumerism. So how do you disrupt this irresponsible supply chain of extraction, manufacture in just basically one country, and mass marketing and promotion of consumerism, and then all going to landfill? How do you disrupt that? You disrupt it by setting up recovery systems that can retain the value of those resources at the highest level for the longest period of time, and that's what the Resource Recovery Network's about. When you work at one of these community recycling centres, you learn about materials, you learn about how to add value to them, you learn about granulating, compacting, safety, forklifts, truck driving. There's a whole range of skills that can be learnt. What you're doing with recycling is you're putting the bottom rung back on the economic ladder for a whole lot of people who it's been removed for. And those rungs then lead to other career choices later on, in the industry, outside the industry. It's the incubator. So how would the Resource Recovery Network operate? Well, essentially, it will emerge through the support of the council, but it'll emerge from the private sector and community groups that want to use it as a way of bringing in revenue. We have to do something. There is a window of opportunity for Auckland Council to really make a difference in a big way at the moment and become a model for the world. And it's just a complete flip from this mentality of I buy it, I use it, I throw it away, to a more caring, intelligent use of resources. And that's the switch we have to make. The waste companies have allowed us to have a wasteful attitude, and we've got to change it. Auckland City's waste strategy is the most progressive one that's ever been put together in this region. The essence, though, is it's going to be almost ineffective if the city cannot get control of the waste that's going to landfill now.